It's hockey night in Utica, and a big night at that. The Comets return to the Adirondack Bank Center for Game 3 of the North Division semis against the Toronto Marlies, with the series tied at 1 game apiece. So let's head down to the Aud right now. Sports Director Spencer Davidson standing by live to get us ready for the puck drop. Spence, good evening.
Good evening, Steve. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, the last time out in this building, the Comets propelled themselves into the North Division semifinal series with a thrilling come-from-behind OT win. Tonight, Utica is hoping for more magic here at the ABC as they look to take a 2-1 lead in this series against the Marlies. And with me now to discuss tonight's game, the voice of the Comets, Jason Shia. Jason, you obviously had a great seat for games 1 and 2 in Toronto. Game 3, big bounce-back win. What did you see? What did you like?
Well, I love the game. I love that game 7-2. Not only it started with Nico Dawes, so he was fantastic, and then you're getting contributions from up and down the lineup. Riley Walsh continuing to do what he does. Brian Pino, I thought, had a breakout game, a goal and assist in the game. Nemitz ends with a +2. Robbie Russo ends up at +2, +3. So all around, up and down the lineup, that was a fantastic game. Now let's bottle it, and let's do it again tonight.
Yeah, now, you know, the Comets gave up another multi-goal lead in that game to make it 2-2. How important was it for them to then bounce back, score the next 5, to know that, hey, we can finish off this team, we can get it done after blowing a lead in Game 1?
You know, I remember talking to Chico Rash, and I was doing color up there, and I said, you got to play a 60-minute game, and he said, you know, there's another team on the ice, too. Yeah, so they're going to play, too. They're going to have their moments, too. You can't stifle a team for 60 consecutive minutes. Toronto's the best team in the North Division all year. They're going to have their moments. How you respond to it. So it was 2-2, and they responded very well. Huge saves by Nico Dawes, and then down the ice for a 2-on-1 and a goal. Turning point in the game, and the Comets never looked back.
All right, you saw the atmosphere here in Game 2 with that OT win. What are you expecting from tonight? How much are you looking forward to this atmosphere?
So far in my 3 seasons now, that was the best loudest I've ever heard it, the most incredible moment in one of my best of my broadcasting experience. It's not a clinching scenario game, but it's the biggest game of the year. Let's be clear about that. It's the biggest game of the year. The crowd in here is worth a goal at least, I think. Right. And if you're behind him and you're yelling, believe me, Kevin Dean talked about it earlier this week, they feel it, they know it, and that's why we want everybody here and engaged in the game.
All right, awesome, Jason. Thank you. Enjoy the game tonight. Game 3 coming up at 7. Coming up at 6, we'll hear from the team about what they're expecting tonight. Steve, I'll send it back up to you.
All right, Spencer, should be a great atmosphere down there, and you want to win this at home. You got to win this, you got to win Friday, and then we'll see where the road takes us. Got to win tonight, though. All right, we'll see you again tonight at 6. The Comets, by the way, are saving a seat for Ben Stiller. They took to social media to ask what time he will be at the Aud. They even made a jersey for him. Stiller was in town Monday and Tuesday with his director hat on for the Apple Plus TV show, Severance. Well, thousands of film and TV writers...
Good evening. It is hockey night in Utica here at the Adirondack Bank Center, and it is a huge night at that. The Comets return home for Game 3 of the North Division semifinals against the Toronto Marlies, with the series all tied up at 1 game apiece, and the next 2 here in Utica. Now, the Comets have a big opportunity here in front of the home fans, and I got to say, I do feel pretty good about this one. When I walked into the building, I found this guy sitting in the stands, so I'd like to think that's a sign of good things to come. We shall see. Fans are filing in here for another whiteout at the Aud after they were given quite the treat the last time out with a come-from-behind OT win against Game 2 against Laval the last time out. Now, for the Comets, they did take care of business north of the border, bouncing back in this series after a Game 1 overtime loss to even it up with a convincing 7-2 win over the top seed Marlies on Saturday. 7 different goal scorers found the back of the net for Utica in that one, as the team continues to get contributions from across the board, which is so crucial at this point of the year. The teams have had 4 days off now since Game 2 to recharge, get healed up, and get some practice in to prepare for a pivotal game with tonight's winner moving 1 win away from moving on and advancing in Game 4. Now, the Comets will be without forwards Nolan Foote and Sam LeBerge for this one. They are dealing with minor injuries and are considered day-to-day at this point. With 2 wins needed to move on and the next 2 here at home, the Comets know the opportunity in front of them and discuss the importance of managing their emotions while enjoying the boost they'll get from a whiteout playoff atmosphere here at the Aud.
It's a win for them if they end up if they call 4 penalties against each team. You know, they've been the top power play all year, and we've had our challenges in that area, although I think our power play is gaining some traction right now. So a level of discipline is important for us. Keep our 4-line rotation, meaning contribution throughout the lineup, have been real keys over the last 3 weeks for us. Our fans, when they get their chants going and they're showing their enthusiasm, boy, it's a tough building to play in as an opponent. Although I think it's enjoyable as an opponent. There's just such a good heartbeat in the building, but it's something we certainly feed off. So we're looking forward to getting a couple home games.
Oh, it's huge. I think especially the crowd we have here. It's been, it's fun to play here. It gives us a lot of energy. It's harder for the other team for sure. So I think it's gonna be huge for us. We have a big home ice advantage when it comes to guys coming and playing here. So I think it's going to be massive to take care of business here and move forward.
Left boards, holds, Talvidi.
Well, the first order of business to take care of comes tonight in Game 3. The Comets win would give them the opportunity to end the series here in Game 4 on Friday. A loss, and they'll have to win Friday to avoid elimination and force a decisive Game 5 back in Toronto on Sunday. Now, it's hard to believe, but the Comets have not made it past this round of the playoffs since their Calder Cup Finals run back in 2015. They've given themselves a great opportunity here, and by the end of the night, we'll see what they did with it. Warm-ups coming up here at the Odd in just a few, then puck drop at 7. I'll wrap things up for you tonight at 11. Until then, good night and good puck. We'll be right back. Good evening. It is hockey night in Utica, and a big night at that. The Comets return home for Game 3 of the North Division semifinals against the Toronto Marlies, with the series tied at 1 game apiece. To the Adirondack Bank Center, Devils prospect Pius Vilen, 20-year-old defenseman out of Finland, making his North American pro debut for the Comets tonight. Pivotal game in this best-of-5 series, as the winner will have the chance to close it out and advance in Game 4 on Friday. Marley's looking to quiet the crowd early, and they start strong. Just 5 minutes in, Ryan Chizowski beats Nico Dawes upstairs. Toronto jumps out to an early 1-0 lead. It stayed that way until the second. Comets on a power play. Alex Holtz with the one-timer, stopped by Eric Kallgren, and bounces around in the crease. Comets can't get to the rebound among the chaos, and the quick whistle is blown. Play is dead. Right after that, power play expired. Here come the Marlies. Kyle Clifford on a breakaway. Dawes, huge stop on the backhand. But Simone Nemec got his stick up, and the refs call for a penalty shot. So Clifford gets another chance with only Dawes to beat, opts for the same move, and this time he roofs the backhander, converting on the penalty shot, and Toronto now has a 2-goal lead. But a big response from Utica. Just 32 seconds later, Robbie Russo from the point, deflected in front by Arnie Talvidi, his second straight game with a goal, and the Odd has life. Comets right back within 1. So now a bit of momentum on the Comets side. Just over 2 minutes left, Nolan Stevens finds an open Nemec, and the rookie makes no mistake, snaps it home for his first Calder Cup playoff goal, and Utica back even. We're tied at 2. To the third, Marlies on the forecheck. Chizowski at the side of the net, no one around him, takes a couple of whacks at it and jams it home on the third try. Missed coverage in the D zone, and Toronto pulls back in the lead. Comets looking for another equalizer with 12 minutes to play now. Brian Hallinan backdoor for Holtz, who's robbed again on a one-timer by Kallgren. Big stop to keep it a 1-goal game, one of 24 saves for the Marlies netminder. Utica couldn't convert on a 4-minute power play. Then with under 4 minutes to go, Toronto on a rush. That's Pontus Holmberg off a feed from Clifford for the tip-in. Disappointing finish for the Comets as the Marlies tack on an empty netter from there. Utica falls 5-2 and now trails the series 2-1.
Well, you have 4 minutes and you get an opportunity, and the power play has been a thorn in our side all year long, and tonight that was magnified. I think there was just too much frustration in our game because I didn't mind our game. With the amount of chances we were giving up, I don't think we created as much as we have over the last 2 or 3 weeks there, and getting some offensive zone time. But we get a 4 minutes on the power play, and they probably had 3 or 4 chances to start 0, and it felt like that was a emotional letdown for our group.
Obviously, pretty disappointing result there. We had glorious chance there, you know. 4-minute power play, you'd expect something good to happen, and obviously we just didn't make enough plays. But yeah, it was a back and forth game. We felt good after the second. We took it to them there in the second, and thought we were just going to continue that momentum in the third, and they got one, and we were just chasing the whole period, and yeah, just the way the game went.
So a practice day tomorrow, Game 4 back at the Aud on Friday as the Comets will now look to stave off elimination and force a decisive Game 5 back in Toronto Sunday. Puck drop Friday is at 7. In the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, Comets parent club New Jersey Devils dispatched the rival New York Rangers in a thrilling 7-game first-round series on Monday. Tonight, Akira Schmid and the Devils were down in Raleigh, North Carolina to open up their second-round series against the Carolina Hurricanes. This is the first time New Jersey is playing in the second round since 2012. Hurricanes were there last year playing the Rangers. Schmid did get the start tonight, but was tested early. Midway through the first, he's beaten through a screen off the faceoff on a shot from Brett Pesce, and the Canes lead by 1. Then late in the period, Sam Jarvis on a rush. He beats Schmid with a chip shot glove side, and the Devils now trail by 2. More of the same to start the second. Just 2 minutes in, Perry Kotkaniemi gets the backdoor feed, and nothing Schmid can do about that one. 3-0 to score. Akira's night would be done as he was taken out in favor of Vitek Vanacek. That seemed to spark New Jersey. About 3 minutes later, Nathan Bastian on a breakaway, wrist it top left to get the Devils on the board as Jersey shows signs of life. And in the third, past the 10-minute mark, former Ranger Brady Shea, off a feed from Sebastian Aho, buries the one-timer past Vanacek. Repeat from Game 1 of the Rangers series as the Devils drop this one 5-1, back at it for Game 2 on Friday. Well, the All-Star